to sharing a big bay with all these other females, having to take showers. There were no doors, so I'm like, oh, they get to see my body. So the next thing that we're gonna get into is basically schooling, military education. So again, like in the enlisting side, you pick your MOS. On the officer side, you pick your branch. I'm an AG officer. I decided just to stay human resources since that's what I was doing on the enlisted side is what I knew, so I decided to stick with that. So the first course that you have to attend is called BOLIC, which stands for Basic Officer Leadership Course. So how was your BOLIC experience?
It was horrible. No, but it was very fulfilling. So it was the engineer BOLIC, which is the longest, hardest BOLIC for any of y'all up for the challenge. But, you know, it really pushed me to, you know, really grow in the military as an officer, learn my job, which is a very unique, very diverse branch. And, you know, you learn what you do. You go there, it's pretty much like you're in school. And
where did you have to go?
I had to go to Fort Leonard Wood. So Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, in the middle of the winter. So basically you go to class, you take tests. I'm not gonna go into my branch particular tests, but you know, you take a few tests. If you fail a test, you get one more attempt, and then you might get recycled. You don't want to get recycled. You look bad in the next class. And you do a bunch of events. We had things like sapper stakes, we have field training exercises. We did some, you know, demo, we blew some stuff up. That's just my branch particularly, but other branches have other cool things that you can do too. But once you finish BOLIC, you are now done and you are a full-fledged officer. You've done your first schooling, and then next is Captain Career Course. I'm currently in Captain Career Course now, and then with engineers, you go into ILE. So there's different steps as you progress, and how was your BOLIC experience?
So,
Paper pusher.
my BOLIC experience was pretty boring. I mean, I pretty much already knew the job because I already went to the classes regarding that AIT, so I already knew what it consisted of. We took tests, we did briefings. You had to get up there and you had to, you know, learn how to brief the class and give presentations, things like that. We learned how to process pay. So watch what you say, because I control your pay, your awards, your promotions, all that goes through S1. No, you can't do anything without the paper pushers, okay?
Yeah. I give you your flowers.
Okay, thank you. So, it wasn't a whole lot. I was at Fort Jackson. Relaxing Jackson. I was at Fort Jackson for basic training, AIT, and for BOLIC, so I didn't have a whole lot of.
Dang, you were relaxing your whole career.
But yeah, like he stated, for an AG officer, the next course after that is Captain Career Course and ILE as well as you progress, as you get promoted. So that's pretty much how that goes. The next thing that we're going to actually get into is active duty life. So even though that you're in the reserves or you decide to do National Guard, you still have opportunities where you can either go on mobilizations or you can go on deployments for active duty time. So you want to touch on that?
Yep, so active duty. For you reservists, it's a wake-up call. So basically, if you want to be on active duty, that's where your true knowledge comes to the test. And so you have to be on point to be on active duty. You can't be slacking, you can't be, you know, just think you're gonna get by and get a free ride and a free active duty check. No, you have to learn, you're gonna get tests put to the test, and it is rough. But once you learn what you need to do, how you need to do it, it becomes easy and you can handle anything. So with my active duty experience, it's a kind of long story. Should I go into it?
Just go ahead and give them the tip of the iceberg.
All right, so boom, I'm a regular reservist, relaxing, you know, just chilling, hanging out on drill weekends, not really taking the Army that serious. And then one day we go to Poland, and then 3 months later, they tell me I need to go to Germany to lead a mission on my own with 4 other soldiers. It was only supposed to be for a year, and then it turned into 2 years. So that can't really go into my mission too much, but every day you do PT every day. I was in the motor pool, so I ran a motor pool, and basically you just do your job, go to briefings. I had to brief the BC, my commander, I had to brief generals, I had to go on different missions, and I'm gonna be honest, that was the biggest challenge of my life. The learning curve versus doing it every day to doing it just once a month is unimaginable. Completely different. So I had to learn fast, I had to learn quick, I got cussed out a lot, I messed up a lot, but you know what? I'm a better person and I'm a better officer for it. But yeah, so active duty will definitely push you to the top. It's a great way to get some extra money, get paid. There's many different ways to go on active duty in the reserves. You can do ADOS, you can do mobilizations, you can just get on orders at your unit, and you can experience the active duty life. So now we're both here on the mobilization.
So
you hit it, man.
Unlike him, I don't have a whole lot of active duty time. Now I've been overseas, like contracting and stuff in Afghanistan. So that was quite different, but this is like my first real like active duty mobilization here at Fort Bliss. Again, culture shock, having to wear that uniform every day, PT, early in the morning, every morning.
Get some, yeah.
Okay. I'm not a PT stud like this guy, okay? So I be tired.
So how's this experience been for you? Have you learned a lot?
I've learned a whole lot. Before this, like he said, he mentioned earlier, not really taking the military that seriously. I always said I'm a fake soldier. I ain't no real soldier. But I'm a real soldier now. I was a real soldier.
Yes, you is.
I was a real soldier now. So it's been very much so a great learning experience, and it's actually encouraged me to want to do more mobilizations, to want to do more active duty time, because the things that you learn here, the networking experiences that you have, like the different just the skill sets that you learn in the military is something that I haven't been able to learn anywhere else. It opens the door for a whole lot more. Okay, so now we're just gonna touch bases like on some pros and cons. Again, like I said, this is my first experience with active duty time. So let me start with the cons first, so we can end it on a positive note. So first con, the hair and nail restrictions. Like, I can't even get my nails done. Like, I can't get my nails done because you have to keep everything within, there's a regulation for everything, okay? So with your nails, they have to be clear or natural color that can only be like 1/4 of an inch long, no designs, nothing like that. Your hair, it has to be uniformed, whether it's like, for me personally, since I'm like natural, I either would do the cornrows, I had the box braids as you can see now, or slick it back in a ponytail. So because my hair is so long, of course, I have to keep it pulled back in a bun. Keep in mind, your bun can only be 3 inches wide. So yeah, that's something that you have to think about when you're getting your hairstyles. You have to make sure that your PC, your patrol cap, that it fits securely on your head when having your hair done. So that, for me, that's a con. Another con that I would have to say is being away from my daughter. So I'm a mom. Like, of course we have FaceTime and things like that, but having to be separated from your family, that's a big thing. You miss important events. Like, I miss my daughter's pre-K graduation. Moments that you can't necessarily get back because you're making pretty much the ultimate sacrifice to serve this country. And so things like that suck. Another con, poor leadership.
Speak on it.
Listen. Listen. all orders and things of that nature come from the top, right? So even though, yeah, we're officers, we have a group of soldiers that we're in charge of, that we make decisions for. But when you're in a leadership position and you have people below you, you have to be able to make sound judgment and wise decisions. If you fall underneath a platoon or a company or battalion where you don't have the best leadership, or they don't have the soldiers' interests at heart, then it makes it really difficult. It makes it, yeah. So, my last con on being on this mobilization, like I touched on earlier, would be being in these barracks. Being in these barracks. I feel like I would say college, but
I feel like you're on Section 8.
Yeah, man. Listen, at least I don't have a roommate anymore, but it's just, man, I don't like being in these barracks. Can't live the way that I'm used to, but yeah. I'm gonna go to, what are your cons?
All right, so I'm gonna piggyback off of you a little bit. I hate that word, but I'm gonna use it. So, the appearance thing, yes, that was a big one for me.
You're a pretty boy.
So I got this thing where I hate what I call the booty face. And if y'all don't know what the booty face is, it's when you gotta shave your whole beard. And I have a beautiful, beautiful beard that grows, and I can't have it in the military. It's about as long as I can get it. I have a shaving profile, but I'm gonna give y'all some word of advice. It's a little frowned upon for officers, but hey, you can't control my skin. And gotta have a low haircut, but it looks like they're getting a little bit more lenient these days. I'm starting to notice soldiers with a little bit more hair, a little bit more beard. And so it looks like it's getting better as time progresses. And another one is definitely being away from family. I am single. I have a girlfriend, but I don't have no family. I miss my family around. My mom, dad, just being away from people that I love. I'm always out alone in the world, but of course you make good friends, so.
Like me.
And then,
No.
and then I was messing with you. Yeah, you my dog.
All right,
big dog. All right. And then my last con is just you don't have your freedom. That's a big one for me. You gotta always tell Uncle Sam where you're gonna go, who you're gonna see, where you're gonna be, what time you need to wake up. So that's my thing. I'm a big advocate of freedom, and you're not free in the Army. Basically, just think of it as you still have your mommy and daddy you gotta answer to.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta tell them what time. They're gonna tell you what time to come in, what time to leave, where you're gonna go, how far you can go, and you gotta ask permission if you want to go far.
So, pros. Because there's good and bad in every situation, whether it's the military or a civilian job. But some of the pros that I would have to say is anybody out there who is maybe not certain what they want to do in life, or they're not really necessarily in the career field that they're looking for, I think that the military is great as far as financial stability is concerned. You get in your paycheck on the 1st and the 15th. I got USAA, so I get mine.
Day before.
Exactly. So, and then of course with you, like if you have dependents, then you get, extra things.
Healthcare. They talk about it. Speak on that.
Exactly.
Speak on
exactly. Exactly. That TRICARE, get that stuff for the free ski, okay? Right. So in addition to that, like the BAH, which is like, extra funds for like housing and things like that, per diem that you can get based off of what type of tour you're on. Family separation pay for me.
You're getting a lot of money.
Listen.
Get into the bags.
A little bit. But so yeah, I would say financial security is one of the pros. Another one of the pros I would say is being able to travel, to explore the world. A lot of people and originally I feared the unknown and not being able to know where I'm going to end up. That's why I didn't go active duty. But now I actually embrace that, being able to go and experience new things, different cultures and stuff like that. Like you went to Poland, and Germany. Is awesome. Education, of course. Like I said, the military does pay for your schooling. Again, I would advise you to go in after you graduate from college so they can pay all your student loans. But even with the military education that you can put on your resume and use that in the civilian sector as well. You get a lot of education and a lot of skill sets that you can use if you decide that you don't want to make the Army or the military, any other type of branch, your career. And then networking, of course. That's a pro. Being able to meet different people from different backgrounds, different organizations. That's a pro, to be able to get out there and put your name out there.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
All right, so mine is definitely the stability. Even though they tell you what to do, where to go, there's a sense of stability to the military. You know, you always have a place to stay, place to eat. You know, they're not gonna let you be out there hanging in the wind. If you get lost, they're gonna come find you. You know, so
Never leave a fallen comrade.
Yeah. So I definitely love the stability. Definitely, I'll say the pay, because yes, I agree with you on that. You know, when you rank up, your pay increases, and basically, you know, it's a really good pay. Yeah, I can't even flex or say anything different. It's really good, and if you manage your money right and you know, invest and do things properly, you can make the most of your money in the military. And the last one for me, which she talked about, is traveling. I grew up military, so I bounced around the states, and then I had the opportunity to go overseas. And going overseas was one of the most eye-opening experiences I could ever have. It woke me up to, you know, just how the world is, how beautiful the world is. And the military can do that. If you don't come in with a bad attitude and you come in with an open mind, open heart, and you just take it for what it is and be positive, you will learn a lot, you'll absorb a lot, and you will see a lot. So, yep. That's all I got.
That's it. So this was just, you know, our personal experience with our military life. Like he stated, the most important part of, you know, being in the military, in addition to being positive and open-minded, is just learning how to be flexible. And if you do want to make it your career, remember that you are in charge of your own career. Nobody else is going to make your military life or your military experience what you want it to be. Make it the best.
On that note, drop the mic.
Yep. So thanks again so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video.